Don't be so shy. I think this has been my lifelong lesson that I've struggled with. I'm assuming you're probably the same, that you're just like so afraid to say anything, to speak up, to, make us think. And it's just really funny because here I am on social media all over the place. And, I'm the person that's extremely shy. And, I think about this as if you would have told my family this when I was 5 years old, they would have said there was no way that would ever happen, that that would have been the person, or would have been the person all over the place. And the reason is that I was an extremely shy person, always afraid to speak up. I was the person that would be hiding in the room, hiding behind the couch. That was my thing. Literally, that was my thing. My family still teases me about that, of me hiding behind the couch whenever that there was something that was a little frightening that was happening. And I was just always too afraid to speak up. I was too afraid to speak up a lot of times in school. And, even if you see me in interactions, you'll see me, if you do, out and about. Like, there is a lot of nervousness that I have to overcome, social anxiety. So sometimes I'll just like blurt things out. Um, so, the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, don't be shy. I think what you're doing and who you are is pretty freaking awesome. And um, coming out and saying that and sort of pushing away that feeling that many of us have, a lot of us have. I see that all over. I mean, there's the people being one way where they're like just too over the top, and you're like, ooh, what is that? Or just like most of us are so shy, we're so like afraid to say anything and encourage. And I just want to sort of mention that I was thinking about that. I think ultimately, if you're the one person, if the person that listens to this, I don't know who's listening to this, I really don't. But if you're the one person that listens to this, and then I tell you to shy, be like who you are, really try to work on that, like do things where you feel good about yourself, and then keep that going and not stop with it. And then you actually do that today. You are like, hey, that actually wasn't bad. I actually felt okay doing that. There wasn't anything that was scary. I was able to feel good inside. I think that's pretty cool. And I encourage everybody to think about that. Like, what is it that you have all of this pent up anxiety about, or fears? And we all have those things. It doesn't matter what it is. We all have absolutely a tremendous amount of fears to do things. If it's not, for me, it's social anxiety. Being around, particularly, it's not so bad like one person, but if there's more than 4 or 5 people in a space, oof, that's hard for me to say anything. Um, and and it's always been like that. It's never gonna go away. That feeling just doesn't disappear. Um, and you know, if it's not that, like, what is it that you have? What is the thing that you have that you can sort of test the waters and try to go after, right? Like, for me to be so public and open about these things, I mean, that's a big thing. I'm telling you, like, a lot of this stuff, but who I am. And I just want you to know, like, what is the one thing that you're afraid to do, and try to just like just test it, right? Like, just go and see if you can do that one particular thing and see how that makes you feel. And if you have a positive response, try it again. Like, just see. I mean, sometimes you never really quite know what it is that you might do. And here's the thing, you might try it, you might hate it. That's fine. I mean, try the game in like a year or whatever, like try the game, but then find something else and sort of test those things. What I'm saying is like we live in these kind of like silos in our minds that we're just afraid to do things because we think like if people are going to think it's really stupid. Like if I said I want to become, and it's impossible for me to do this, but because I'm a foreign entity. But if I said I wanted to become the president of the United States of America and I told people that, and if that was my thing, people think I was crazy unless I like was that person that I was like politically involved and but even still, like everybody would think you're crazy, right? They all think it's kind of silly. Well, that's where you have to be like, okay, I'm good. I'm gonna keep doing this anyways. Like, thank you so much for your opinion, and I'm gonna keep doing this anyways. That's totally fine. I'm gonna keep doing this and doing this. And yeah, I realize that likely will never happen. There's no there's no likelihood. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna get up and try this again, and I encourage you to find that one thing where you're really shy about and you're scared about. And even if, like right now, I'm going for a walk and I know that there's a bunch of wind and the audio is not that great and all that kind of stuff. Like, who cares? Does that devalue anything? Right? Like you're thinking in your head, you got all these sort of fears. Does that matter? Ultimately, most times it doesn't, right? And I encourage you just go do it, see what happens, keep trying, and just enjoy it as you're doing these things where you're giving the world the middle finger, right? Where you're like, okay, well, let's just see. I'm a little shy, and for me, like me personally, I'm a lot shy, really, like a nervous wreck shy, and yet get out there, keep trying, see what happens. Just, just see. Don't be shy.